Wonderful. Thank you again to all of you for joining us. Today, we will hear from our double alumna from the College of Science and Health, Nneoma Duruhesie. And before we get started and hear from her, my name is Andre Kachaturians. I'm the Executive Director of Development and Alumni Relations at CDU. Again, welcome. So Nneoma is the founder and CEO of Wazobia Dance, a dance and fitness organization. She describes her passion and her desire to encourage folks to embrace their attributes and to encourage the creation of body confidence through the connectedness of the mind and soul. She hopes these will lead to creating a body that each person would desire. And she hopes it will be done through Wazobia Dance. Thank you, Nneoma, for joining us and volunteering your time. And again, thanks to all of you listeners out there for tuning in. And before I welcome her to the virtual stage, please feel free to comment and ask questions in the chat, and we'll do our best to get to everyone. And without further ado, please welcome Ms. Nneoma Duruhesie.
Thank you, Andre. I am completely grateful, and I sincerely show all gratitude for this opportunity. I don't have any slides prepared. This is strictly from the heart and my experience from CDU and into where I am currently. As Andre mentioned, I have founded a program by the name of Wazobia Dance. This program was founded back in 2014. 2014 is when I came up with this extravagant idea of bringing our culture to the forefront. And the reason being behind the idea was, at the time, I was very depressed. I was unhappy with the current weight I was. And I didn't really enjoy, at the time, working out and doing anything that was too strenuous, anything that made me feel super exhausted, made me feel super sweaty, anything that just was pertaining to exercise at the time, I did not want to participate in. So I prayed about it. And to my surprise, God revealed a vision. Prior to him revealing the vision, I traveled to Nigeria many times, and I was just so taken away with the music itself. Every time we went to Nigeria, we always went to the local joints, which are clubs, and we always had the time of our lives, which is dancing to the Afro beats now we're all familiar with. And I wanted to bring that music into my routine here. So when God gave me the vision, he told me to move. And I was thinking to myself, move how? Because I wasn't a dancer. I didn't have any background in dancing. So when I felt that urge to move, I was uncertain in how he wanted me to move. And because, again, I love the music with the Afro beats and the artists that they have established, I knew I wanted to incorporate that foundation with the movement he wanted me to emphasize on. So when I started to move, I said, okay, well, my background, I am Nigerian and I am American. So I definitely want to intertwine the two cultures into one. So I thought of having traditional movements as well as modern movements and having that foundation of the music, the Afrobeat music, as primary. At that time, I had a good friend that knew me very well. So I expressed my dreams, my ideas, my concerns. And of course, I was nervous and scared because, again, this was not my background. I had no experience at all. People knew me, they knew me as a two-stepper, right? So during this time, my friend at the time, she was a dancer. She was a phenomenal dancer, and it was like secondhand nature to her. And she took me underneath her wing, and she really took me in a series of strenuous training, transforming me into a dancer where I got really comfortable with the body that I was in. It didn't happen overnight in terms of me being so comfortable. It was a process that I'd done continuously, almost every day, if not every day, where I started to really embrace the attributes that I speak about in my classes, and started to really embrace me as a person, and started to really fall in love with myself, even in the process of me undergoing the changes and the circumstances and the challenges that I was faced in. So again, 2014 is when I started. It was then called African Aerobics. I relaunched it 2016 for the name now Wazobia Dance. And then during that time, 2016, you know, I want to say most of us can agree with things are not just given to you in the clear picture of day where you can see exactly where you want to go and where you want and how you want to do it. It's oftentimes given to you in increments. It's given to you little by little. And that was my situation. So in 2016, after relaunching the program, Wazobia Dance, it was on my heart to go back to school. And at that time, I already had my bachelor's in science. I did that at Charles Drew University, as was mentioned. And I didn't want to go back to school. I was like, why? But it was urging me to go back to school. It was almost like pulling me to come back to school. And I didn't quite understand the significance behind me going back to school. But of course, when something to me is urging you to go back to school, oftentimes it's best just to follow that urge, you know, because for my situation, if I didn't, it would just been somewhat of a disappointment to myself and a letdown to myself that I didn't accomplish something that was tugging at me continuously. So anyways, I went back to school, and I went back to school for my master's in public health. And it was during that time I was opened with so many different information and knowledge and just things that I was not aware of at the time pertaining to our communities, our society and whole, and the people that are in operation of different systems. I didn't have no idea of how in-depth it was. So I was so overwhelmed with the information that was being tossed at me continuously, but also opened me up to the opportunity as well to put my best foot forward. So during my last year of public health, we had this project that we had to complete. It's a capstone project that we had to complete in order to graduate. And we had to create a program based on all the things that we've learned up until that moment. We had to create a program, and we had to emphasize the need for the program and how it was going to be beneficial to the community or the target population. Of course, my idea was, I have a program. Why not use it? Let me see exactly how I can make my program better. At that time, it was just a fitness, Wazobia Dance Fitness. And because I had these new tools based on information and knowledge, I then emphasize why my program is important by doing research. I did strenuous research behind Wazobia Dance and the benefit of culturally specific dance, such as Wazobia Dance. And me undergoing that phase and doing the research, it became more apparent of how our communities are in need of a culturally specific dance, such as Wazobia Dance. So once I was done with my capstone, I submitted it. I actually, during my grad year, my final grad year, I submitted a proposal to Kaiser Permanente with my program, and they actually picked it up and they funded me for a year because they saw the vision, they believed in the vision, and they wanted to support the vision. And again, I was so grateful. One of our strong professors there, which I know most of you guys know, Cynthia Davis, she was my professor at the time who actually helped me go through the process, and I learned so much from her. In that time, she took me underneath her wing. She taught me things that I didn't know, and I moved forward in that application process. And again, I succeeded in achieving the grant that was given to me. Next to that, I actually started to branch out based on that one experience. And I saw other people was believing in my craft. It gave me joy. It gave me a sense of purpose. It gave me a sense of gratitude, because at that moment, I was doing it as a fitness. I didn't know the benefit of the healing arts behind it, which is what it is. It's a program that is actually a healing art. And I wanted to make sure I expand my reach to as many people in communities as possible. So based on my first grant application that was funded through Kaiser Permanente, I then moved forward again and getting other partnerships. And then from partnerships, I expanded to schools. So after, I'm going too fast. So after I graduated from CDU, I was, still learning. I'm a forever student. I don't think I have reached my threshold as of now yet. I feel like I'm still young by heart, but again, I'm still learning. I'm a forever student. So after I graduated from CDU, I was still gathering information, seeing how I can make my program better and stronger and just more accessible to people of color and people of all types of race, to be honest. I just wanted people to move, to be in that space where they feel safe and feel safe being who they are in their skins and feeling as if they want to be loved by themselves, more importantly than from anyone else. Because I do believe self-love is the first love, so you can be able to portray that love out to other people. So I wanted to create that space. So with me doing the homework and the research, I myself personally had to go through those same strategies that I was trying to put out into the community, or out onto other people rather. Excuse me. So I definitely had to go through my own healing process, because as we all know, we are all living here on earth. And sometimes it's not the most pleasant experiences that we may face from day to day. But in the midst of, I was able to hold on to my program to help me, like literally transform me within. And that stems from confidence. I had to really feel confident in myself to have such a program as I do, to be able to first and foremost speak to you all about it, and more so importantly to bring out to the world, because that's the goal. You want something that's going to be able to change lives in a positive way. And if it's something that anyone have, why not share it? But before sharing it, why not undergo the necessary process that needs to be undergone? So that started with me. In the midst of that, I was still teaching. And with me teaching, it was more so on and off throughout the span of the years, because life happens and I had 2 babies since grad school. So with me, taking pauses and breaks due to pregnancy and resuming again, it still allowed me to research the industry that we're in and the significance behind the industry that we're in. So with that being said, after doing that, I have solely went into, again, securing partnerships in places where I expect people that are coming from communities not to pay a single cent, because I would like people to have the experience for free. And that ensures them that they are actually doing it for themselves, instead of worrying about how they can pay for something. That's the last thing I would like to put on someone, is wanting to feel like they have to pay for something, when if it's possible, it can be done for free. So that's something that I have stood on, I agree with, I'm passionate about. And this is just to say, no matter how hard or intense something is that is craving you to move forward in, the only thing that will stop you from moving forward is yourself, literally. It's so many different incidents that I can speak about that could have stopped me. I've been on this journey for years, and it have not been easy. It's not an easy journey. It's something that would definitely question yourself to why are you even on this journey? But the goal behind it is staying focused. Staying focused on your target, staying focused on what you believe that you have, and staying focused on yourself, being true to yourself. Undergoing the changes that's necessary, because change can be scary, change can be, intimidating, change can be unknown. But being true to who you are as an individual will keep you centered in your goals and keep you focused on your target. So I just want to put that out there because we all have unique qualities about ourselves, and we may or may not move forward in those unique qualities for whatever reason. But from my experience, moving forward in those qualities that you know that you have been placed to share has been beneficial, not only to me, but to others. That's from my experience. So long story short, well, not long story short per se, but to move forward, after securing partnerships and actually getting out of the pandemic actually set me back tremendously because that's when everyone was locked away in our homes and we weren't able to, have interactive partnerships, interactive relationships, interactive anything pertaining to people being in the same space at the same time. So that made me really understand the significance of self-care. Self-care was when I realized being intentional about taking care of yourself is very important. And I say that because during that time we were locked away, I started a YouTube channel, Wazobia Dance, where we did dance on the screens through the networks of the internet. We were still moving and I was still encouraging, I was still motivating during those times. With that being said, after the pandemic, I didn't stop the hustle. I didn't stop because things just was going back to normal. I picked up where I left off and I went harder than ever before. So I started getting more partnerships. I have a few now. I don't feel the need to mention, but actually I do. LA Care is one of them. Yatande Price is another one. MLK Public Health Center next door to CDU is another one. AIM is another one. And yeah, so I have partnerships that I can mention, but that's just to say these partnerships are all free to the community. It's easy to just join in. Is no obligations. Is more so a motivation if you feel the need to do something different that you never experienced. Wazobia Dance is an experience. We emphasize on the arts, we emphasize on the culture, and we emphasize on the self-care element of them. To give you a bit of a background of Wazobia Dance, the word and where it was formulated and why it was formulated. Wazobia was formulated from Nigeria. It simply means come in 3 different dialects. Hausa, Yoruba, and Igbo. Wa is Hausa, Wa is Yoruba, Zo is Hausa, and Biya is Igbo. All 3 of those dialects mean the same exact word, which is come, saying come 3 times. And I emphasized it with adding dance behind Wazobia Dance. So I'm literally inviting people to come dance. It is a culture-specific dance that I mentioned before early on in this conversation. I simply lay out a foundation of movements that is, I would like to say, easy enough for participants to follow and pick up on. And things are done repetitive within each song. So that way it gives participants an opportunity to catch on the movements before going on to the next song. I try to keep in mind to make it lighthearted, fun, exciting, a place where we can truly connect with our inner selves, a place where we can connect with other people as well. Because I do feel like community is important. And having a strong community can allow someone to move further in their own life. So Wazobia Dance is simply a healing art through dance and fitness, to put in so many words. Simply a healing art through dance and fitness. With Wazobia Dance, from my experience and from people that have their own testimonies from Wazobia Dance, it is a life changer. It's a game changer. It has, for me, built my confidence. What I'm doing today, 5 years ago, I don't think I've been doing it, to be quite honest with you. I am a completely different person. I have transformed through the program. The program has again, challenge me in ways to bring out my best self. And these ways that is bringing out, I still have more to go. I see myself becoming even better. And again, it's just a foundation. It's not, you know, is not what's making me. God is what made me. He used the tool of Wazobia dance to bring the greatness out of me. And based on this tool that I have, he allowed me to share it as well, based on me being willing to undergo the changes that was necessary for me to undergo in. I do believe in anything that we do that is great, we will change in that thing. Change must be somewhere along the path. Excuse me. Change must be somewhere along the path to bring more out of you, you know, and especially when you're bringing it or showcasing it out to, let's say, the world. You know, you showcasing out to the world, you want to be the best version of you as possible. So you're going to undergo whatever change that's necessary. With that, I'm grateful, to be honest. I'm grateful. I still have more goals to accomplish. I still have more targets to pinpoint. I'm still, I want to say, on a horizon with the program Wazobia Dance. This is, again, an honor that Adrian even thought of the program to be shared with you all. So I'm, again, grateful for you, Adrian, to even ask me to be here. Thank you. Yeah, CDU has been a great foundation for me. I did my undergrad, I did my grad. You know, it's like, it's family to me, to be quite frank with you. When I go back to campus, I feel welcomed as if I never left. And I love that community. I love the small, I want to say very intimate, which I love. And it allows you to understand and know a person truly for who they are. And not only within knowing the person, supporting the person based on you knowing the person. So I have been supported by CDU since the recognition of Wazobia Dance. I have done many, many, many events at CDU with Wazobia Dance. I have expanded to getting other partnerships because of CDU. You know, the list can go on with CDU. So I'm in a position where I feel like I had a strong foundation at CDU based on the professors and the staff and administration office and people that just have their part, you know, to play to make CDU what it is, you know? So with the opportunities that was given to me, I'm always like available to do things such as this, share my story, hopefully motivate someone else to continue to pursue their own passion, their own strengths, because life has so many great opportunities to offer when you're actually pursuing something worth pursuing. And you don't want to lose those opportunities based on not going after whatever it is, maybe tugging at you. But I think I would like to say, again, I'm still learning. I'm still growing. And yeah, I'm grateful for these days. I'm grateful for these days. I don't know if anyone have any specific questions for
Yes.
me. Mm-hmm.
Thank you. I mean, that's really inspiring. And as someone who has two left feet, you gave me some courage to try something new.
Yes. Literally, I had two left feet literally then too. So I can do it. Anyone can do it.
Okay. I'm gonna try it, and I'll let you know how it goes.
Yes, please.
But we have a number of questions for you. But before then, I went ahead and linked to your YouTube channel in the chat. So folks who are interested in learning and taking part, please feel free to click on that link.
Thank you.
We have a question from a viewer that says, great program, congratulations. What is the toughest challenge now that the program is up and running?
The toughest challenge for me is having a solid team for me at the moment. I'm only one person, but I'm doing so many different jobs. And I do understand before you really, really take off, that may just be the situation. You may have to you may have to wear so many different hats till you're able to put people in place, and also the right people in place, not just anybody. You can go through different trials and errors with people, and it just may not be a good fit, but it will be a point of time where you have the perfect team. So I'm in a place where I am seeking the perfect team where I can alleviate a little bit off of me, and really focus on growing the program. Because again, I'm doing like so many different things, but it never hindered me from seeking opportunities. I still always seek opportunities. There's always something to me where I'm like mentally writing it down, and then I go revisit that again. But yeah, that would be my greatest challenge at this moment. Would be having the solid foundation of a team members.
Yeah, those are really good points, and I think a lot of organizations and businesses probably will agree with you that the labor market is tough. The folks now want different things. People are exploring their own journeys and their own experiences, and it's going to be a while until I think things settle down and people start to understand what they really want. So thank you for
Right.
that. Um, the next question, there's some comments in the question. Thank you for sharing your great story and journey. You shared a few tips about what individuals should do for themselves, as we're all different. However, for the people who don't know exactly what to do, how would you encourage someone who may want to take the first steps to learn dance or their healthy body journey to begin?
The first thing I would encourage someone who want to learn dance or just the whole health and wellness element of life is start. You got to start somewhere. When I started doing Wazobia dance, before Wazobia dance, I didn't know how to dance. I had no idea. Again, I never had a background in dance, but because it's something that I wanted to do and I believed in it, I did it. And I was also told by a really good friend, people tend to find time for things that they want to do. So if that's something that you want to do in pertaining to a healthier lifestyle, eat healthier. Try it. Granted, it's not something that you can do one day, like, I got it. It takes time. I understand it takes time, but it's something that you can be consciously aware of and take those steps bit by bit. And how to trigger certain things. Like if you drink a lot of soda, tone it down some. Or you eat a lot of whatever it is, just have alterations for it, or include vegetables and fruits, or eat more salads, whatever the case may be. And in pertaining to working out or just moving more, if you're not a person that work out or move, walk first. Start walking more often. And then once you start a rhythm of walking, challenge yourself to go extra mile, jog. And then once you start jogging, do a little, you have to do some weights to like really, get the muscles strong and where they need to be. So just start is what I would say. Just start somewhere. Set yourself up for success. Don't look at where you currently are. Keep your mind focused on where you want to be and work towards whatever vision that you have of yourself.
Great, thank you. And I actually, I have a question. How do
Mhm.
you kind of resolve the your business savvy and your wanting to do good in the community, or are they kind of one and the same?
Excuse me. So for me, business is business. And that's why for me, I like to have partnerships versus having individuals pay, because I look at it as opportunity for community members to participate in something that's beneficial to them. And most times partnerships that I'm in, they want the same thing. They want the best for the communities, or the community that they serve directly. So they understand business is business, business is business. And as long as it's getting what the community need that they can engage in successfully, then that's all that matters, you know? So that's what I would say. Business is definitely separate than how I come to the community. The community, I want to just create a safe space where individuals feel comfortable. They are, most importantly, they're having fun, because I don't want no uptight environment where they don't feel like they can just be loose and have fun. I want them to feel as if they're in the right place, they met the right program, and they can really truly transform themselves in our program.
Sure, absolutely. And one of the things that when you mix what you love to do and your business, it doesn't feel like you're actually working. It's just you're living your day to day.
Right. It's really actually, for me, I look forward to my classes. I look forward to seeing faces that support the program. I look forward to demonstrating whatever demonstration I need to be at that moment. I literally transform into a whole nother person
Mm,
during a Wazobia dance session. That's why I say it is an experience.
yeah. What would you say to folks who have children or young folks at home, youngins at home who want to be more active? Is this a good option for them?
Yeah, I have two small children. I have a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old. So this is definitely a great option. I've done Wazobia dance even while pregnant. I had it's called Wazobia Dance Baby Mama. I had a program because I still wanted to be active and I still want to move. And I still want to encourage people that was in the same situation with me to do it with me. But yeah, this is a great option for individuals that may have small children or children in general. It's a great option, yes.
Okay, very good. Thank you. What about folks who are students that are joining us, or alumni who want to break into something new? I mean, you have connected your research that you did in your program and your degree in undergrad to your passion. So what would you say to someone that is kind of like, well, I don't know what to do, especially a student? And how would you connect those, or how would you, some tips on connecting your passions and your degree or your research that you do?
Okay. Great question, by the way, because I was also in that situation when it was tugging on me to go back to school, and I didn't understand why I was at school. But during that time, while being in school, I was learning so much. And in the midst of me learning, I oftentimes thought about my program, but I didn't know how my program was going to fit in what I was currently doing at that time. Um, but I just trusted the process, to be honest. I trusted the process, and based on that desire to pursue what I had in mind for my program, I knew even with me going to school, I wasn't sure what I was going to get out of a public health degree, to be quite honest and frank with you, to be completely honest. I wasn't sure what I was going to get out of the degree of public health. But I trusted it because that was something that was telling me to go back to school for. And this is what I got out of it. I got information that I didn't have before the program. I got resources, more resources. You know, I was able to meet other organizations. I didn't know anything. I was very oblivious to the process, but trusting your intuition and trusting your gut as you're moving forward in your craft is what's going to be like a flashlight, I would like to say, to guide you through the darkness, because we're not going to have all the answers. We have to take it day by day and just trusting, yourself. And you may not get it perfect the first time or even the second or third time, but just knowing like it's always learning experiences within the process as well. So even if you get it wrong, what do you learn from it? How do you apply it for the next time so you don't get it wrong again? So yeah.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I think one of the things I've learned in my life is it's okay to fall or fail, but it's what you do afterwards. If you get up, great, you try again, and you may fall or fail again, but you keep trying until, you twist things around or alter um, whatever it is that you're doing to try to get to your goal. So that's a really good point. Um, what would you say to someone who, or any tips that you have to, how would you stay? So it's good to that, folks start doing dance or participating in those types of activities. How do you continue to do it? How do you stay strong and fit to continue a program like this, or any tips that you have for longevity?
Um, mentally first, your mind definitely have to be right. For me, I probably wasn't the best person to meditate, but I have found meditation for me is my key. It keeps me at a place that grounds me, and keeps me motivated because again, journeys will be challenging. Journeys will you know, test you in terms of, do you really want it? Are you ready to give up? So based on whatever test that needs to be given to you, mentally, you have to be checked in all the way. You have to know, like, I'm doing everything and well, not probably anything, but mostly anything to make sure you succeed, especially when you invested so much time. You can't get time back. So if you invested so much time, that means you really truly believe in your craft. And with belief is why not go full throttle continuously, especially when you have a great tool that's being presented, And in terms of physically, I work out regularly. I lift weights. I do HIIT workouts. That keeps the endurance for me to do hour-long classes, where I feel it, but then I don't feel it. Because even though it's a healing art through dance and fitness, it's definitely still a workout, literally a workout. But it's a workout in the sense of where you don't feel like you're working out. You feel like you're dancing and having fun because the movements that are being presented, they're traditional modern movements. So it's things that we do on a daily anyway, So that's what I would say, how I keep the stamina in pursuing the longevity in my passion of Wazobia dance. Mentally checked in, physically got to be checked in, So those things, even spiritually, all of those things are inseparable. You have to make sure everything is in alignment because you're going to have challenges. Nothing good come easy. That's what I would say.
Right, and totally agree with that. And I think getting in the right mind space for any activity. If you're not into it, you have issues that you're dealing with, or just life in general. And you need to be able to be in that moment. And interesting, I like when you said that you meditate, or meditation is a fairly new concept in the United States in general. I think it's been done in Eastern medicine and all that for a very long time. But how do you meditate?
I have quiet moments. And my meditation can be based on the scriptures of the Bible, or just affirmations that I'm retelling myself. And I just sit in that space of peace. And just, that's a part of self-care too, so that's how I meditate.
Wonderful, thank you. And I'll just add a personal note to it. Sometimes I wear my Apple Watch, and it has this breathing. That's kind of my meditation. Sometimes it reminds you, like, breathe, take it easy, even a minute, and it says 1 minute of these breathing exercises can really lower stress. So thank you for emphasizing that. A couple of questions again here. Where do you see Wazobia dance in 3 years?
Ooh, good question. 3 years. 3 years is such, like, realistically, is such a short time, but then again, it's long. But I definitely, again, my goal with Wazobia Dance is to expand its reach. I definitely see it in different counties. My focus is California first and foremost. I want to expand it to as many counties as possible within California. And then moving forward out, I would like to expand it to different states. Yeah, within United States. So yeah, that's where I see myself 3 years with the program Wazobia Dance expansion. I can't hear you.
Whoops.
It's okay.
3 years and we still are, on the mute situation here. Okay. There's a question here. Are you aware of any success stories for people who joined your classes, for example, improved their health overall or lost weight, etc.? And if you can share a story.
Yes. I used to do testimonial videos before the pandemic, and I'm trying to think, I may have a few on the Wazobia Dance page, Instagram page. So if you go to Wazobia Dance 1 on Instagram and you scroll closer down before the pandemic, you will see testimonials. But I had from as low as 13 years old to as older as 78 years old. And a lot of testimonies within the range, but I have heard it's stress reliever. I have heard people look forward to coming to my class because they anticipate, you know, just the other networking and the group of women or who may be in the class at the moment. I have heard it helps them lose weight, and it helped them lose weight significantly. Something just to look forward to more so though. Because for me, I don't like to emphasize losing weight for my program. I like to emphasize having fun for my program. And I feel like with you enjoying what you do, everything else come naturally, you know? But I have heard it helped decrease blood pressure. And this is from someone that was older. Again, you can find these testimonial videos on the Wazobia Dance page on Instagram. I heard people say it's something that I'm trying to think about the verbiage that was used. It's something that gets you in the verbiage. I can't think about it, but something that gets you in the mood pretty much for anything and everything. It gets you ready because the foundation is phenomenal. Like the movements that we do is like, okay, it's not what you would expect in a workout class or a program like Wazobia Dance. It's things that you least expect. So when you come and you experience it, you be like, oh, you know, this is not something that I envisioned happening, but the fact that it's happening, it makes it even better. You know what I mean? So I heard a lot of testimonial videos, and I actually need to start doing those testimonial videos again. But yeah, so.
Very good. Thank you. There's a question here. Apart from YouTube, are there any other virtual options? I'm currently in Dallas.
Honestly, right now, no, because we was on lockdown for 2 years. I was like trying to get back in person. So now that we're in person, I'm actually really enjoying in person, but not to say that I want do virtual options in the near future. I think right now, because I'm only one person, and once I get like a solid foundation of team members, I can start doing multiple things that would definitely expand the reach with people that's in Dallas, such as yourself. But as of right now, only in-person classes are being offered as of now.
Great, thank you. You have a studio, correct? And is it in Carson?
So I have partnerships,
Yeah,
and with these
partnership.
partnerships, they have locations that the Wazobia Dance program go to.
Got it.
So we have different partnerships throughout Los Angeles County, meaning different locations for people to participate in.
Got it. Wonderful. All right. I think that's the end of our questions in the chat.
Okay.
Anybody want to ask a question, feel free to raise your hand and unmute yourself and ask that question. You have a few minutes left.
We did really good on time.
You were great. You sped through that. That was awesome. Well, thank you. I'm very appreciative of you doing this, and we're coming back and volunteering for your alma mater, and it was a pleasure to meet you at another CDU event, and I'm glad that we had connected. It doesn't look like there are any other questions or any comments. So thank you again, Nneoma, for participating. Thank you to the rest of the folks who tuned in. We appreciate you taking time. So thank you. Have a great rest of your week and weekend ahead.